Hi, this is Ken.
And I'm Abby.
We are from One More Rep Fitness, and today we're going to be talking about some tips on your first powerlifting competition. Let's get started. So first and foremost, congratulations in finally signing up for your very first powerlifting competition. Now, this is very difficult yung first mo na sign up eh. Parang you feel that you are ready, you feel na am I strong enough to compete? But at least you're on your way to becoming an official powerlifter. Okay? So first tip, do not cut weight or extremely cut weight just to drop down your weight class. No? So you want to, I know we all want to win our very first competition, and you think our numbers, yung total numbers, or our total number is better in the lower class. But there is so much stress in trying to drop your weight and to maintain it that it might not be worth that stress for your first competition. You know, remember your first competition, you're still very scared or
Kabado.
kabado ka, you don't know what to expect, and then i-add mo pa na you've cut weight, you're not in a good mood because gutom ka, and so on and so forth, diba? So I really don't think it's good for your first competition to drop your weight. Just compete within what is your comfortable weight. So if you're presuming like me, I would probably be comfortable in the 90 kilo range, or that's where my weight class is, then I wouldn't want to drop 7 kilos to drop to the 80 plus kilo range, and I'll just stick within the 93 kilo class. Okay?
Yun, basta if you come na sa during weigh-in na you're overweight, don't stress too much. Pwede naman na you can just pay the penalty.
Yeah, some federations pwede naman na on the day itself, overweight ka, you just pay penalty and then you play
Go
to the
one
next
class
step.
up. Diba? I
So,
learned it. Kasi ganun ang nangyari sa akin before.
pero at least, ang nangyari, imbes na mag-stress out ka pa to try to cut more weight, hindi siya nag-cut ng weight, nag-penalty, go one up class, but she actually performed really good. She was,
Nag-PR ako.
nag-PR pa siya sa deadlift.
Yeah.
No? Pero pag hinabol pa natin yun, nag-diet siya, so you come into that competition, baka hindi mo makuha yung PR na yon, and baka mas masama pa loob mo na nag-underperform ka. Another thing pala, when it comes to the weigh-ins, no? Even though you're not gonna cut weight, you're not gonna diet to lose, to go down a class, you still want to show up on your weigh-in to be the lightest possible. Not that you're cutting weight, pero don't eat something heavy, don't drink too much before the weigh-in, because you still want to be the lightest during the weigh-in. Kasi pag nagkaroon ng tie, same kayong weight class, and then you lift the same amount, whoever is lighter is going to win. No? So maganda siya for tiebreaker. So huwag ka pupunta sa weigh-in, tapos kahit na your weight class has meron kang 3 kilos na margin, tapos kakain ka ng marami. No. Still come in the lightest possible without actually dieting too much. Okay?
Number 2, come early to the venue.
Tama yun. Kasi there's some venues na masyadong malaki yung place, na the restroom is a few minutes away, yung warm-up area is far from the platform, and then you wanna make sure saan ka ba mag-scope, kung where you are going to put your things.
Para makakuha ka ng area mo. Para may space ka na doon mo ilalagay lahat ng gamit.
So, ang maganda is when you come early, you get enough time also to make sure na, di ba, yun nga sabi natin, first time mo mag-compete, kinakabahan ka. When you come early, you get to settle down. Hindi yung para sobra kang agit, di mo sure, kinakaba ka. So, ang maganda doon, it gives you enough time to actually settle down, have enough time to do your complete workout, your complete warm-up. You know where the warm-up area is, nakita mo na ano yung mga equipment meron sa warm-up, and so on, di ba? Saan ang CR. Tapos para ma-schedule mo rin kung gaano kalayo yung CR, No? Kasi remember, pag nakasuit ka na, mas mahirap mag-CR. No? So you wanna time it, you know how far it is, so that when you're in the middle of competition, you can time kung saan ka or what time ka magsi-CR para hindi ka makabalik tapos ikaw na pala next. No?
Yeah.
So para may schedule ka.
CR break is very important, lalo na sa babae. Number 1, madalas malayo. Pangalawa, expected yan pagka CR ng babae, may pila. So, itatime mo yung few minutes na yon na nakapila ka, plus magsi-CR ka, na nakasinglet ka, yung time na ibabalik mo yung singlet mo. So, kailangan yun, plus babalik ka pa ulit dun sa venue.
So number 3 is bring a coach, or if your coach is not someone na pwede sumama sa'yo, bring a handler, a training partner, na at least someone who knows how you lift, no? Or if you're bringing a friend, at least someone na pwede kayong mag-usap ahead of time for strategies. No? So ang duty ng handler or whoever is going to accompany you during the competition is to help you with your warm-up, help you assessing yung lifts, kasi minsan di mo alam kung mukhang madali ba or mahirap kasi sobrang adrenaline. So yung taong watching you can assess na mukhang, or that looks easy, that looks difficult, and tapos siya rin ang mag-note your next attempt to submit it kasi may time limit. If you don't submit kaagad, pag nag-fail ka, they will automatically just put the same weight, or if you are successful, they'll put in just the minimum. No? So kung may strategy kayo on what is the amount you want to put, make sure na pag-usapan nyo ng handler nyo. Diba?
Yun, like ako, sa akin, kasi yung coach or handler, para siya ang mag-a-assist sa akin, like sa bench, kung tama ba yung position ng kamay ko,
Or at least yung distance, di ba, yung
markings.
markings.
Yung markings na gano'n. Siya ang magbibigay sa akin, mag-guide sa akin. Diba?
Kasi in most competition that we've attended, the coach or your handler is allowed to be the one giving you the bar or off-racking you for the bench. So pwede kanya i-assist na kunwari ito yung marking. Minsan kasi pag nakahiga ka, hindi mo makita yung marking, especially if a bar that's being used sa competition.
Marami ng chok.
Daming chok, hindi mo na makita. So yung taong nag-handle sa'yo can actually put their fingers so you know kung saan mo ilalagay yung kamay mo. No? So yun, it's very important na may kasama ka. On another thing, kaya kailangan mo ng isa pang tao is you actually want someone to video your lifts. Not for your social media, pero pwede rin, you can post it for your social media. But this is for you to record in case you need to file a protest to the head judge. May mapapakita kang video. Ilang beses na nangyari yan na kunyari na foul yung lift kasi or something na hinawakan masyado kaagad nung mga spotters, you can actually file a protest, but you need to have some proof, which is the video. Hindi siya tulad ng international competition na merong nagre-record and may talaga nagdo-document. In this one, you are responsible for your own documentation.
Number 4, learn the rules, commands, and the requirements.
So when you're training pa lang, get used to the commands. No? So like sa squat, it's not as simple as you just go there, get the bar, squat, and then balik mo kaagad. No. Sa powerlifting competition, you have to follow the commands. So as soon as you off-rack the bar and you step out, no, before they will give you the start command, you want to make sure you're steady, your knees are locked, no, steady na, and then they'll give you the start or squat command. No? So after naman that command, so you squat, you get up. Hindi mo pwede isole kaagad yung yung bar sa rack. You have to also keep steady and wait for the command ng referee to rack it. That's the only time you can step. Pag tayo mo, tapos nag-step ka kaagad forward before the rack command, that's a no lift kahit na nabuhat mo pa siya. Di ba? So, ingat ka sa mga ganon. You have to listen to that. Sa bench is, as soon as the bar is handed to you or na off-rack mo, ganon din, may start command. So, you have to wait, steady. Your elbows has to be locked already. Hindi ka na gumagalaw before they'll give you the start command. Di ba? So once na start naman, sa bench mas technical ng konti kasi once you bring down the bar, as soon as the bar touches your chest, you have to hold it steady. No? Pag gumagalaw yan, hawak mo, tapos nanginginig ka, they will not give you the command to press or to complete the lift. Diba? So make sure, as soon as you bring it down, hold it steady, wait for the press command, and then press. Then, same thing as the squat, lock and hold. Don't put it back. Don't put it back. Or else, sino ang tatawag sa'yo?
Nolly.
Sinoli. Sinoli ka agad yung bar. No? So, make sure, wait for those commands. And practice those commands. Have someone help you and practice those commands during your training. The deadlift is the easiest.
Yeah.
As soon as you are called into the platform, no more waiting for the start command. Just go ahead, lift. But as soon as you lock, meaning lock ka, and then wait for the command to down. That's the only time you have to bring it down. But you have to make sure that when you're bringing down the bar, hindi mo pwede bitawan. Pag binitawan mo yung bar, no lift.
Another suggestion is try practicing then lifting na hindi kayo nakaharap sa mirror. Para kasi, like ako kasi, most of the time, pagka nakatingin ako sa mirror, nako-conscious ako if tama ba yung depth na nagagawa ko. So, pagka parang kulang na, doon ako na bumibigay. So, much better if hindi ka nakaharap sa mirror. Para
mag-gauge mo lang by feel
lang.
what is yung malalim.
Malalim.
Kasi remember sa squat, a good squat is when the crease of your hips goes lower than the top of your knees. So talaga medyo kailangan mas mababa than parallel. You want your hips to go a little bit lower. No?
So pakiramdam
So yung iba, palagi nasa salamin, especially when you're working out in a gym na may mirror, you look at yourself, tapos nakikita mo, okay, ganun, malalim. Pero once they start lifting na walang salamin, parang hindi nila alam ano ba yung hahabulin nilang depth. And in a competition, there's no mirror. You're looking at a referee, you're looking at the crowd. So all you can do is make a feel for it kung naabot mo ba yung depth. Diba?
Yeah.
Okay? So, be very conservative with your attempts, no? Especially on the very first attempt. No? You want to make sure your first attempt is something you can easily do.
Comfortable.
Comfortable ka na 3 reps, you can easily do it. Or on a bad day, pumunta ka sa gym, it's still something that you can lift. Easily. No, kasi if you're on the very first one, hirap ka na and you fail, the stress of that failure is going to add up to your next attempt. And you want sana for your second attempt and your third attempt, may confidence ka kasi sure ka na, may numbers ka na.
So dapat something na sure ka na kaya mo.
Kasi remember, you are given 3 attempts per lifts. Kung first attempt mo nag-fail ka, tapos second and third, 3 nag-fail, kahit na malakas pa yung succeeding lift mo like the bench or your deadlift, kung sa squat pa lang, na 0 lifts ka, you're pretty much out of the competition. Even though your total for deadlift and bench is enough to get you a podium, you're still going to be 0 and disqualified ka na for the competition. So you want to make sure you have at least 1 successful lift of the 3. No? So your opener is very crucial. It will give you the confidence you need na meron ka ng successful lift, hindi ka stressed out. On your second attempt, you can attempt your PR if you want. No, that's my strategy. Usually,
in my case naman, ako naman, I prefer na hindi ko alam yung second and third lift ko. Yung first, I'll tell them na ito, sure ako, kayang-kaya ko. But the second and third, I let them, my coach, hello, I let them take charge kung ano yung
susulat
ilalagay
na lang, may tas magugulat na lang siya.
Yeah, parang sa akin, bahala kayo kung ano yung tingin nyo, nakita nyo yung first attempt ko, I'm okay with it. It's up to you to decide ano yung ilalagay nyo, surprise me, parang gano'n na lang.
Kasi siya, pag nakita niya yung number na feeling niya hindi niya kaya, kakabahan na. But better yung hindi niya alam, and that's where your coach and your handler comes into play.
Yeah.
No, sila yung nag-gauge, kasama mo sila sa training, so they know your actual strength. In most cases, they know your strength better than yourself. No, kasi minsan ikaw may kasamang doubts eh.
Yeah.
No? Sila may tiwala sila sa lift mo. So they'll write down what they think is a lift that you can successfully do nang hindi ka tinatakot kasi ito yung next lift mo
So para wala yung
mapapraning
kaba.
wala na yung kaba.
Yeah, wala yung kaba. Kasi pagka parang, shucks, kaya ko ba yan? Baka sobrang bigat, baka hindi ko kaya. So nega ka agad. So ako, I prefer na not knowing ilan yung ilalagay nila. 'Di ba? Basta bubuhatin ko na lang, parang ganon.
So remember, when you fail, when you do an attempt and then you fail, you cannot bring your numbers down. So kung nag-attempt ka ng 100 kilos for the squat, no? Tapos na-feel mo ang bigat ng 100 Hindi siya feeling na kaya ko You cannot change your number to bring it down to 80
You can't lower.
So your first attempt talaga is very crucial. You write down something na sure ka kaya mo. Don't write na mukhang okay yung training ko ngayon, mukhang maganda gising ko ngayon, tapos lalagay ko 100 kaagad. Yung pala on your best day, saka mo lang nagagawa yung 100, pero ang comfortable ka is 80 lang. No? So you want to make sure that if you're doing that 100, yun yung weight na kaya mo kahit na yung araw na mahina ka. No? Kasi wala na tayong going down. But on a failed attempt, like sa akin, yung sa squat ko, I opened nicely, okay siya. My second attempt, I was given a no lift kasi kulang pala daw sa lalim. But it felt light. So on my third attempt, okay lang. You can add, even if you fail on the previous attempt, you can add weight to your next attempt. You just cannot lower it, but you can bring it up. Kasi sa akin, I just felt na yung mali pala, it's not because hindi ko kaya. It was just, I went up too quick, hindi ko nababa yung depth. So nagdagdag ako ng weight and then good thing I was able to complete that third lift on a higher weight. Pero if you're not really that confident, you can stick to the same weight. Okay? So make sure wag masyadong aggressive in terms of your numbers. Now, this is going to be your first of many competitions wag rin yung ridiculous na PR attempt kasi sobrang adrenaline pump ka. Remember, any failure that happens can lead to injuries. Ayaw natin yun. So, ano tayo? Have a plan and try to follow that plan. Okay?
Okay. Number 5.
Number 6.
Okay, number 6. Not all venues have access to food. So,
or at least easy access to food.
Easy access. So baka same as yung CR, malayo. So make sure na marami kang dalang food, prepared ka doon sa food na kailangan mo.
My suggestion when you're bringing food is to have a lot of good carbs. No, something that is easy to digest para may energy ka kaagad. So you can bring rice, you can bring pasta. Pasta ang favorite Almost all competitors we see palagi may pasta or rice Banana, ayun, halos every basket na nakikita ko or at least food lunchbox sa competition, they have banana.
Ito yung isa favorite ko, yung ano na yan, pointer na yan, na kailangan mo ng
food.
Favorite ko yan.
Pero don't eat too much sabay-sabay. You wanna be snacking along the way sa competition. Huwag yung isang buong kain. May mga competitors na yun ang ginawa nung nangyari. Suka.
I like yung mga pang in-betweens ko. I like chips, chocolates, gummies.
Ayan, gummies actually good.
Yan ang mga favorite ko na.
So yung basket namin, meron palagi sa akin. I always have my chips, a little bit of chocolate.
Buffet.
Parang may mini buffet. Pero we eat it gradually. We don't eat it as one big meal. Kasi pag ginawa mo yon, very first lift mo, busog na busog ka, masikip yung belt, suka.
So you have something before and after, tapos before ng yung sa bench, before ng deadlift. So meron ka mga kakainin before that.
If you're taking also like yung mga supplements, BCAAs, yung mga pre-workout mo, make sure to time those properly also. So you have to bring your own water containers, your water jugs.
Make sure marami kayong water na.
Bring your own water.
Yeah, yun ang importante.
Not all venues have easy access kasi. Kaya so palagi kami may dalang 4 gallons. Not 4 gallons. Yung yung mga 4 or 5 liters.
Kasi
No?
even,
Each.
Kasi even yung mga water fountain, mahirap din maghanap.
Minsan may pila.
So better talaga meron kang sarili mong dala.
Oo.
One jug is not enough.
And don't eat very fatty food because you want to make sure that if you're eating any carbs or protein, they are absorbed quickly. Anything fatty that you eat, no, so wag ka magki-crispy pata and all those kasi it will slow down the digestion of the carbs that you need the energy. Kailangan mabilis. No? So, isa pa sa when it comes to hydration, get some sports drink, yung mga may sodium. Tapos you can also bring salt. Yung iba diretso salt na kinakain. This will prevent any cramps. No? Kasi yung iba, 'di ba, nagwa-water cut, they're not drinking enough water before the weigh-in, tapos nakalimutan nila to hydrate. So make sure you intake some salt so that the water is you're not losing too much liquid para hindi ka mag-cramps during the competition. Hirap yan, daming nagka-cramps sa competition because of that lack of hydration. Okay? Number 7, using proper attire and gear. Huh? So you want to also make sure that the brand you are using is accredited. One more rep is accredited, which means our brand you can use for all competitions here in the Philippines. We have belts, knee sleeves, no, wraps. Okay, so what is approved equipment? No, what is approved? So when it comes to the knee sleeves, you want to make sure the maximum knee sleeves thickness that you're going to use is 7 mm. That is the approved one. But it doesn't mean you have to use 7 mm. We also carry the 5 mm. So other people actually prefer the 5 mm. So not everyone likes the 7, but 7 is the maximum thickness. And also for knee sleeves, the maximum length is 30 cm. This one is around 29 and a half. No? For belts, you're allowed to use any type of belt locking mechanism, whether it be a prong like this one or the quick release lever. No, you're allowed to use that. Maximum thickness allowed for belt, this is the thickness here, is 13 millimeter. So when it comes to powerlifting belts, they usually come in 2 thickness, the 10 mm and the 13 mm. No? Next is the wrist wraps. This is our 24-inch. So the longer it is, the more wrap you can do. So it's going to make sure your wrist is solid in place. No? But of course, the longer it is, it takes longer to wrap. So baka maubusan ka ng oras na nag-wrap. Remember, when you're called to the platform, you only have 60 seconds to complete the lift. Huh? So what else?
Singlet.
Singlet, yeah. You need the singlet. For one, the singlet is to help the referee see. So that's why they don't want you to be wearing any loose clothing. The singlet is to make sure they see your movements and you hit the depth required, or if in the bench press, to make sure that your body or your shoulder and your butt doesn't leave the bench. So they will see it if you're wearing a tight, form-fitting naman, not super tight. You don't have to wear it sobrang tight na singlet. So what else? Yun lang, no?
Yeah.
In equip lifting, which is also another type of powerlifting, we're talking about raw. These are talking about raw. No, so in raw competition, you're allowed to use wrist wraps, you're allowed to use belts, and you're allowed to use knee sleeves. In equip, you are allowed to use wraps for your knees, and you are allowed to use a bench shirt, which is a different one, and a squat suit. These were really, really thick material that you would wear na para kang naka-bound eh. Tapos parang spring eh.
Scuba, right?
Tapos so equip is a different we both have no experience with equip. It's right now we are concentrating on the raw. Okay? But something you can look into also. Mas magastos lang because of all the other suits that you need if you want to really be competitive. But you can be using raw equipment in an equipped competition. There's no stopping you. Those are maximum equipments you can use. You can use anything that you want below that. So remember also when you're using your knee sleeves, no? So knee sleeves, when you put them on, the top of your knee sleeves cannot touch your singlet. So dapat may space. Yung dito naman sa baba, cannot touch your socks. Diba? So make sure when you put on your knee sleeves properly, either you bring up your singlet or you bring down your socks to make sure they don't touch. Kasi when you enter the platform, mas nakita ng referee na nakatouch yun, they won't ask you to fix it there. They'll ask you to leave the platform and fix it outside. So that's going to eat up more time.
Same goes with the wraps, diba? Meron parang
the thumb loop.
Yeah, the thumb loop.
So when you're using the wrist wrap and the thumb loop, no? So when you wrap it. See this? Hindi pwedeng nakakabit yan sa thumb mo when you enter the platform. If it is, pag nakita ng referee, ganun ulit. Kahit na sobrang simple yan, out muna. Fix it there. So you want to make sure this is already removed before you enter the platform and you're ready to lift. No? So when you wrap it, make sure you remove this. Okay? So, yun lang naman eh. Sa belts also, except for the lever, sa prong, you cannot be tightening your prong belt inside the platform. No, you have to tighten that before you enter. Lever, they allow you to just snap on the lever inside the platform. Okay? So those are things that you have to remember during your lift.
Okay, number 8, make a checklist of things to bring for the competition. Like number 1, your gear.
So shoes. So shoes like sa akin, I have weightlifting shoes, the squat shoes, a deadlift shoes, and then an extra trainer shoes just in case may mangyari, masira. No, but if you're lucky enough to have 2 weightlifting shoes, you might want to bring an extra. No?
Just in case.
Just in case lang may masira. Alam mo, lalo na ngayon sa tagal natin di nagamit shoes natin, baka biglang bumuka ka.
Yeah. Number 2, yan, yung mga gears nyo, like mga singlet. Make sure yung singlet, wag niyo makakalimutan, not unless manghihiram kayo sa iba.
Or bibili kayo sa venue, minsan may store kami.
Minsan meron kaming pop-up, so pwede rin kayo bumili doon.
Or hahanapin nyo lang kami, meron kaming store sa
kotse.
Sa kotse.
Yeah.
Now we have, so the knee sleeves, no?
Your belt, wraps, your
inside shirt,
top,
inside shirt, no?
Inner shirt.
You make sure, kasi dati pwede pa mag-deadlift ng walang shirt sa lalaki Well, actually sa babae, iba sa ibang competition, sports bra lang pwede. But now, it's no longer allowed. You have to wear a shirt under your singlet for all 3 lifts. Lifting chalk.
Yeah, chalk.
Even though the venue has some, pero pag hindi mo gusto gamitin yung chalk nila, you use your own chalk. Baby powder. No? Ito palaging tanong ba't may baby powder ka? You don't put it in your hand kasi dudulas yun. So you have someone put the baby powder on your legs during the deadlift. Para pag nag-grind ka at nagsa-slide, yung bar mas madulas yung slide up. No? Para hindi siya sumasabit. Kasi minsan, you need that extra na parang dulas to bring it up. No? So, yun. What else? Food.
Socks.
Socks. Ayun, socks. For deadlift. Remember, you need to have an almost knee-high socks for deadlift. Hindi ka papayagan mag-deadlift to enter the platform with short socks. Your shins has to be fully covered. This is for safety and protection. Food.
Food, of course.
The food basket. Hindi pwedeng makalimutan yan. Makalimutan na ang lahat, wag lang yung food. Water.
Yeah, water.
A little bit of cash. Don't bring too much cash kasi minsan some venues hindi maganda yung security. So don't bring too much cash. Just enough na kung may bibilin ka na extra food, no? Or biglang may craving ka, no? So just bring enough money. Don't bring too much.
Towel din.
Towel.
You need towel kasi yung pawis, yung ganun na kailangan mo magpunas. So, kailangan ng towel.
Oh, isa pa. When you're doing kasi your warm-ups, do not expect the venue to have the things that you use for warm-up, like bands, no? So, yung mga bands na ganito, or your
Roller.
sariling loop bands mo, rollers, no? So, you bring your own, no? So, make sure, diba, yung, no, our loop bands that we use for warm-ups.
Kasi minsan, yung warm-up area is not enough then for all the,
Kung meron man, sa
masikip.
dami kayo nagwa-warm up, hihintayin mo pa.
Magsisiksikan kayo. So, yan. Diba? Bring your own if possible. Diba?
So make sure, make a list, checklist to make sure wala kang makakalimutan. No?
Did we mention water?
Yeah, well, kasama na sa food. Usually yung basket namin, nandun na yung water container tsaka food. Literally food basket ang dala namin na hindi lunchbox.
Kaya marami kaming ampon.
Kaya marami kumakain sa area namin. Kasi palagi marami kaming food dala eh.
So yun, roller. If meron din kayong mat, if you can bring your own mat, kasi or if you're willing lang na sa floor lang kayo. Kasi like, if ever sa mall, kung walang area na yun
Doon sa warm-up area kulang.
Kulang.
Minsan tumatakbo na kami doon sa side ng venue, tapos maglatag na lang
Latag ka na lang, bring your own yoga
and start
mat.
warming up there.
And start warming up. What else?
That's it, diba? So, lastly, don't forget to have a good time. So, this is now your step in becoming an official power lifter. No, enjoy it. In our experience, powerlifting, being in the competition, it's one of the most fun things you can do. You see even your competitors cheering you on. As in, saan ka nakakita yung mismong kalaban mo, tinatalo mo, is sumisigaw ng up! Diba? Bring that bar up! As in, they want everyone to be successful. No? Wala kang makikita na nandoon na sana hindi mo magawa yan, sana hindi. As in, a lot of people are cheering you on and it's very fun. So make sure you have a good time. Enjoy it. No? So if you want to be checking out our gear for your first powerlifting competition, please let us know. We'll be putting a link down below for our Facebook and our Instagram. Feel free to message us whether it's about gear, about the competition, or anything about powerlifting in general. Okay? Good luck! And I hope you do good on your first competition.